rest of OG. Ember, can they do this? It's just the 2 cores that are left. It might not be enough, and he misses the stun. Now the buyback coming. Latrax seals Pulse Nova instead, excuse me. The Rubik does, and now the stun to try and interrupt with the buyback coming through Thompson. Tries to run it away, sees if he can get out of there. The lift coming from Jarex, and that keeps him alive for the moment. And maybe finding the kill as well. Yule Scepter lift up, OG are there, and they're trying to take that Illidan. They take him down indeed. This could be a dieback for the StarLadder as well as they keep the chase coming. But he manages to back away. Oh, man.
And being up means they might try something bold here with this Roche, because guess what? It's a very fast one, just going to be up here in a few seconds. And score if they want to try and get a little bit more vision in this area. But, man, what a great battle from OG. They take a fight, much needed, outside of their base. Put the pressure on Ola Gold, force them back to their own side of the river, get a little bit of breathing room here. And now are in a much better position to actually take that Roche fight.
Man, that Requiem getting off there and all of the magic damage that comes.
Yeah, it almost looked a lot better, eh?
Yeah. LTW giving G the tip. Appreciating
OG are not sure if they're actually in the pit at the moment, it looked like. The creep didn't quite get in, but it looks like they have to resign themselves to... Yeah, they're not sure. They don't know if this is just a tiny in here.
Well, they will realize it is, but they also now know Roche is up. Everybody be aware of what's going on. Illidan reveals himself, has the Oracle behind him. Stun is going to connect. Not an easy follow-up here. LTW, a lot of damage out there onto Illidan, but the stun came out from BZZ. He tries to chase down No Tail. Separated from the herd, the deer is brought down, and now
they're trying to keep close to these Greaves. They have the BKB on SF.
Avalanche only connects onto 1, but the interrupt coming through. G, the stun, it hits onto 2. Illidan makes the plays that they need. The Omni Slash, it's not doing nearly enough. It's onto a Yule Scepter, and now they turn onto ILTW, trying to just beat into him. The walkway coming from Thompson, a miss uphill, and now the crush coming, connects onto Sep. The root is going to be there, connecting onto both of them as well. And now Old But Gold, feeling the energy of the crowd, are going to stream forward, find Jarex, get themselves the kill. And now maybe either go back for Roche or try and take some buildings.
Yeah, they still have the wave coming mid. I think they just want to go straight high ground. Try and secure themselves a second lane. Man, this chase down from BZZ, he just won't let it go. He's already in their base. He's slithering around here. He's seen himself a low HP jug.
Oh.
Temptation.
Corrosive Haze, but now with the presence effects buildings and the Diabolic Edict, it's so much damage that's coming out, and they get the Avalanche toss. No Tail has not been able to play Dota, but the pullback, no! He only got one of them in the skewer though, and LCW, he hasn't been able to punch anybody in this fight, slowed down by BZZ off to the side. They make the play that they need, and catching Thompson, can they kill him indeed as well? They take him down, Avalanche toss, it's so much damage, and ILTW wants to run, but there's nowhere to go. Old But Gold take his life and take the mid barracks.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Yeah, at this point, they're probably just looking at thinking about closing this one out here. I got a couple salves left here on the Vanscore Oracle. He's got the mega cheapo build. He's got a couple of bracers, no urn for himself. Just salves, throws those on top of his false promises.
And now the toss back in. Seb pulled close to Illidan again, who's made all the difference in this game, it feels like, making the plays left, right, and center.
Oh, his hero damage is going to be off the wall.
They will eventually take the last set of racks as they get the Avatos combo onto Jarex. And Old But Gold looking good in this game at number 1 of the elimination match here.
Mega creeps. OG, well, they have the Magnus. OG do love themselves a good comeback, but I don't know if I'd want to be trying to take this one.
Yeah, I love winning, says No Tail. Well, they haven't given up.
No.
Spirits or something.
Either way, if you guys forgot after all that, Roche is still up with the Aegis, with the cheese, and this is the one that's really going to scare this game for OG. Very unlikely that Old But Gold will be able to lose this one. I think OG kind of stuck inside their base.
Invisibility.
Just going to start calling them both OG. I've done that several times.
Hey, why not?
I think the crowd was even cheering OG.
Were they really?
Either that or OBG. But
it's like that scene in True Sight where they didn't realize that they were cheering against them. Oh, man. Well, Aegis cheese, time to party. And OG, they've still got the big RP, they've still got a very farmed Juggernaut, but we saw in that last fight that it's difficult for ILTW if it almost feels like he needs a blink or something else to like get in there after and follow up immediately after the mag. Going for the BKB, in fact. He walks forward, trying to bait this out. Counter initiation play could come. They find the crush and the Avatos. Does he die? They bring him down. He buys back, but there's no follow-up to this damage coming out. They're just going to be able to pop the Greaves, turn and try and fight. So much AoE damage. Omni Slash comes out. It's on to BZZ and Velor, and not nearly enough as they find the toss onto LTW. Still starting to bring them down a little bit low, and oh geez, living through this one. They take down the healing ward, turn onto LTW. OG might be able to pull this one back. Seb able to create a little bit of space and skewer away. So they spent so much time on him, but now with G back alive and Illidan trying to chase down Thompson, looks like he might eventually fall to the one last raise of Nevermore.
Yeah, the creeps are in the base,
And
the left track, the Shadow Fiend, and yeah, why don't we just take away the armor of this here tier 4 and throne? Beautiful game here from Old But Gold. Had a strategy, had a very clear plan, and execution, right?
Yeah, very well done. And the crowd approves. They played very well. I think Illidan, to me, was the one that stood out as the most impressive.
Get ready for gold. There you go. They weren't ready. OG were not prepared for the gold. I think, yeah, Illidan, for sure. I mean, BZZ, honestly, on this StarLadder was crushing it this game. Quite literally. He was constantly getting two-mans. He was the big initiator they needed every time. It was reminiscent of really the old days where we used to see StarLadder back in that off-lane role, and nice to have it back here with us a few times as of late. So what is even the plan now, honestly? If you're coming into this as OG in these first phase bans, do you actually just straight up get rid of the Shadow Fiend?
I mean, I don't know, right? That's the thing that's so weird about this. And I think you don't need to change anything if you're Old But Gold.
No, you'd love to have your Shadow Fiend again.
Totally.
I mean, they've tried the Shadow Fiend, they've tried the Leshrac, both have hit and miss, I suppose. But, oh God, Velor, by the way, is like the best support Tiny. I know I didn't get to mention him much this game, but he just...
5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
2 games in a row.
Oh, come
Just
on.
kidding.
Dire team ban.
OG's turn to ban.
Dire team pick.
If there's going to be supports that help out with that, then maybe you can offer a sustain on maybe OG's side as well with, I don't know, a Dazzle. It used to be their thing when obviously Fly was still in OG, but we'll see what's going to happen here. The gold open with tiny velours. Tiny is, of course, I mean, I think it's safe to say it's one of his signature heroes at the moment.
Definitely. I also like the way they banned out Magnus, as we were talking about these traps that OG can set up once they realize that you're just gonna steamroll and just go one objective after another. Magnus is pretty decent at defending high ground, and there were quite a few wipes for OG in that last game, but it still wasn't enough, so...
By the way, this series so far, OG hasn't banned out Ancient Apparition.
That's promising.
That's, yeah.
For all but gold.
For gold, indeed.
Turn to pick.
Alright, let's see what they open up with this Bane.
That's way better opening. I was thinking about Bane. He actually does stuff. You have that saving capability. He's a good laner. You have something that pierces through the BKB. And again, with the Ember Spirit, I don't mind seeing Ember Spirit. They already picked Tiny. Probably gonna be that position 4. So there's no need to go for Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, and December Spirit obviously is a flex pick on OG. ELTW can play it, Thompson can play it, so you can't just straight up counter him right now. And that basically allows OG to pick it in first phase, which is pretty good. And the hero itself is definitely very strong if he's skilled the way Thompson skills him with max of Sleight Fist. So, SF though.
Again, if it's very broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I expect OG to ban out Oracle in this game, unless they want to pick it themselves.
It's very unlikely that they're going to pick it themselves, right? You already have this Bane.
They play it as position 4, so it's still...
Oracle is 4?
Yeah.
Possible, yeah.
Again, same ban, Monkey King, they know how well they play with it, so no surprise there.
Dire team ban.
Oracle ban, good call. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. He did a lot of work in that last game, so... All but gold with their next ban. Troll has been banned. Yeah. It's one of those combos that OG really likes, Troll plus Ember.
10 seconds remaining.
They're not gonna have a chance to do that.
5 seconds remaining.
Doom is still in the pool. They like to play it. Great counter for Ember Spirit. Not the easiest way to execute because of the
mobility
casting time and mobility of Ember Spirit. Yeah. Also, when you pick Doom, you need to have a good catch. You can't just Doom someone and think that he's done. You need to have some kind of a stun, slow, any kind of control.
Turn to ban.
Hero that hasn't been banned, and that was really good in that last game, is Lesh. He's still in. All but gold, they ban out the Shadow Shaman. Let's see if OG are gonna ban out the Lesh.
At this point in the previous game, they banned out both Doom and Drow.
Yeah, Drow Ranger was an interesting ban. We were wondering.
They played that.
They played it and lost.
They played it and lost.
Yeah. They played versus Flying Penguins, I believe.
It did have, like, the 9-second silence was very strong. And when you're playing Ember Spirit, maybe that is too strong to deal with, or that you don't want to deal with it, but they do end up going for the Lash.
Yeah, they don't want Old but Gold to have the same lineup they did in the previous game. I'm pretty sure Old but Gold, they have something else prepared.
Well, let's see if they do go for that draw, then, if the ban was founded on something.
You're talking about the silence in the cast on the Ember, and I agree with that, but at the same time, Ember has high mobility, gets on top of Drow Ranger very easily, and if he has one more partner in crime that can do the same, that Drow is never gonna have a game. So overall, I haven't been impressed by Old but Gold's Drow. They didn't manage to win with it. I think they should stick to their guns, get their more casual heroes.
Put Jarex on some playmaking to create a lot of space, give ILTW enough time to farm up. I think that should be the plan here.
What do you give to ILTW? There's some his heroes like Chug and Terrorbladers are still in.
Dire team pick.
What the Earth Spirit?
And Jarex is our Spirit first.
I mean, this is awesome. Obviously, brings a lot of pressure to that mid lane as well. Sadly, if Ember is there, there isn't. I mean, if you get a good kickback on SF, there's definitely kill potential. And you don't want to have a free farming SF like in the last game. Plus, it's Dire, so it's a bit harder for SF too. He doesn't have access to that super close medium camp.
If they can at least slow down the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to put a lot of pressure on this Shadow Fiend. So OBG, they need to have heroes who can rotate. Tiny is one, but he also lacks mana at the early stages of the game. Like, he needs to have full mana so he can TP, and he can't even use the combo.
Grimstroke.
Oh, that feels like Doom is going to be the next pick.
I think so as well. Doom would make a lot of sense. Another hero that's going to bring a lot of utility to Old but Gold. A great combination with Grimstroke, as you can do 2 targets and...
The reason that OG goes for that Doom ban is because we have seen Old but Gold go for the combo of Doom Grimstroke. At least if you ban one, the other will probably not follow. This is something that OG has contemplated for sure.
Oh, OG go for Avenge Core. I don't know if this is going to be a carry or offlane, but with that minus armor, if you lane versus Doom, it could
also be a mid-venge. A lot of kill potential on Shadow Fiend.
That's true. Would be an OG thing to pick.
Then you would have, however, a Ember Spirit versus a potential Grimstrike Doom. Is that going to be... What kind of lane is that going to be?
Well, not too great for Ember.
No.
Definitely.
I feel like every single time there's Ember Spirit on a side lane that he never has a good time. Like, he's always recovering.
He just wants levels. First and foremost, you need levels on Ember. You want to be rotating as soon as possible, but for that to happen, you need levels. Also, you can't go for bottle, you can't get runes as easily, so side lane Ember is, I agree, not nearly as strong. This Beastmaster is a different combination, but a combination with Grimstroke Soulbind nonetheless. So.
It feels like they're going for the same type of plan though, because Beastmaster is obviously something that builds a Necronomicon. You want to use that roar for a gank, you get a successful gank, you got some sustain on your Shadow Fiend, and you just push.
Yeah,
it's like go for gank, push towers.
Again, easy,
same one.
Easy to execute lineup, same principle, and now they have toss back onto Hawk in this lane.
Oh yeah. That is also great for denying creeps on the lane, of course, as we've seen. Actually, OG was the one to do that first.
Wasn't that fixed? Like, you can't... Can you toss the creep still on the Hawk? I think you can do it on a boar if you position it well or something like that.
I think you can just do it on a Hawk.
So you can still do it on a Hawk, alright.
I think so. Yeah. I didn't see any...
Overall, I really want to agree with you. Old but Gold's lineup and draft, again, looks very simple, straightforward.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Well, OG's lineup, it's all over the place. It's strong, but it just feels harder to execute. And looks OG style, though, so...
Alright, that's promising. One more hero to finish it off for both teams. What tick box do we need? On the side of OG, I'd say we are lacking some team fight and some beefiness.
Well, OG doesn't pick too many beefy heroes.
Seb plays,
Yeah.
no?
Seb plays one. Others.
We've seen him play Sand King. I consider Sand King beefy.
And that Sand King went Radiant, so he wasn't really beefy either.
True.
He had like 1000 HP.
We've seen him play StarLadder as well.
That's true. StarLadder, Magnus, that's about it. I'm just not sure where this Venge is gonna go, so...
Well, it seems like all but gold.
Like,
They're banning out Terrorblade.
alright, so they think it's Mad Venge, and DLTW's hero is the last one to be picked. Which I don't blame them, makes most sense.
Who?
Something for ELTW now.
Yeah.
Some core.
Juggernaut's out of the option because you're playing into Beastmaster against Lycan, all these units, your ulti is not that effective. There's going to be a lot of attack speed coming out from Beastmaster and Lycan. Again, a lineup that can take the Roche quickly, even if you just get a one pick off.
The only one that comes to mind for me is the Centaur. And then you would have a safe lane Venge. Or mid Venge, but a safe lane Ember or Venge. That's position 1 and 2 and something else for Seb. But I don't like it.
Yeah, I can't blame you because this lineup looks hard to finalize, looks hard to finish, and they go with the Tide. This is... I'm wondering though, is this Venge gonna be on the safe lane or not? Most likely they're gonna put, yeah, Seb, Tide versus the Lycan.
We saw mid Tide earlier today, it was
Thompson,
very successful. Thompson Venge.
They're going to need to rotate heroes on mid to save this Shadow, and there's going to be a lot of dives. I like OBG's lineup again. They're going to play fast. It opens up the Roche, really snowbally. Vision game is good with all those Wolves. Hawk from Beastmaster. Once he gets Necro, they're going to get rid of the Vision.
Even if their laning stage does not go super well for G, he can still recover in the jungle and get the items that he needs. So I think that's the lane that we have to be looking at the most, that mid lane, and how well Jerax is going to be able to rotate around G and kill him a few times with Thompson, because if he...
Yeah, the mid lane is going to be the focus point.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, let's see what's going to happen in game 2 of the series, and if we are going to have a third game at all, or if Old but Gold can close it out. Let's head over to Lyrical and Trent.
Thank you so much, Sheever. And yeah, man, this is looking kind of rough, Trent. Lycan last pick, just running at people, taking down towers. Yep. I'm very concerned for OG, but Old but Gold, everything's looking all fine and dandy.
Yeah, it feels like OG have been running into the wall of this like really fast aggression from numerous teams, and once again in the second game, potentially their last, they're going to find it once more. I like the Tide. I think it matches up very well against a lot of the heroes that Old but Gold have brought, but I'm not so certain about just who's on what. I'm really surprised. Just see like Thompson on the Venge seems kind of crazy to me, considering it's like, of course, this guy's got a good Ember too, but you know, there's this Thompson guy. He's pretty good at Ember too. Yeah. You know, OG, they've got enough Ember players apparently amongst their rosters, so... but it does come back to just what lane you're going to be playing in. He's going to be playing mid. He wants to be getting the kills onto the Shadow Fiend, and that 100% makes sense, of course. You don't want to be sending the Ember Spirit into the mid lane, so we will get to witness the glory of mid-Vengeful Spirit to see if this will be enough to give them a fighting edge against all these heroes at the start of the game.
And they have a really good hero to help out that Vengeful Spirit as well, and the Earth Spirit. So... you know, spirit action going against the Shadow Fiend. We'll see if it works out for them. And I also, we did see LTW play Ember a couple of times in the qualifiers, and you know, that was when Ember was looking incredibly broken, was getting rampage after rampage. So both ILTW and Thompson do have the Ember, but he's been the one that's been playing it more often recently, I think, Thompson. We're going to have a little bit of chance already from the crowd. Much more packed here on the weekend.
When you can hear it. Now, they have the Bane down bottom, so they're going to try and get 3 runes here if they can. Goes to the toss, doesn't go for the Avalanche here, and he's still able to get the bounty. I don't know how Valhor does it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And looked like No-Tail was going to beat him to it, but not possible. I mean, No-Tail not skilling anything amongst that, despite spending so much time next to those 2 heroes, and I wonder if it means he's going to try this in Feeble once again. He seems to really prefer it as the first skill in the lane. But he's going to be facing 3 heroes already here.
Yeah, this feels like it might have to be a brain sap game. And now moving forward here, be able to hit that ink swell, good amount of damage. Vanscore in a little bit of trouble, roll forward, a little bit off the mark there from Jarex. A rare miss on his most comfortable hero, I would say, is they're going to get a full-on try.
And what is the benefit of a tri-lane? You pull Earth Spirit there. Oh, so wonderful. And where does Earth Spirit want to be? Not in a tri-lane.
No.
I mean, this was the first downfall of this hero, was teams essentially doing this every single game.
Oh, Vanscore alive on nothing, and now No-Tail is the one that's going to get ran down here, although they get the body blocks. Now going to try and turn it back around with the brain sap. Roll forward, getting the kill. It's on Jarex. That's the man you want.
Yeah, looks like Velar went for that toss to stop the attack animation of No-Tail there. So help secure that, or well, secure the save rather onto his Grimstroke. But yeah, he ends up paying for it. No body blocks in time there from Illidan.
And this is the strength of
and Jarex, you can see. Oh, that bottom not quite enough. He goes through the roll through. He gets the range creep +1. Very nice. So
okay,
doesn't have to worry about cutting the trees. Just rolls over them, destroys them, and gets the pull. So really solid stuff here. Going to help deny some of this, and they're going to get the deny on one of the range creeps under the tower as well. OG looking real good in this try-v-try action.
Yeah. Well, and again, like, you take a look at the CS right now, everything's looking quite good for OG across the board. Tide 10-1, you've got the Venge 10-2, but really the fear that you have with this old but gold lineup is that eventually you're going to get into those big team fight abilities and you know, items as well, the Guardian Greaves, you know, Helm of the Dominator on the Lycan, and then you just group together and push. And I don't know, what's OG's answer to that in this game?
It's pretty damn scary, right? I mean, the first 3 items for their 3 cores are going to be probably Vlad's, Helm, and Mech.
Yeah.
That's real spooky. Like, these guys are just going to be running at you. The answer is going to have to be Tide Hunter. I mean, he's going to be building a Vlad's of his own as we see it go on to ILTW, and man, that has a lot of burst damage.
December just trying to get out of there. And some of those extra right clicks, needs one more, and they will find it. So Vanscore getting a kill on the board for Old But Gold.
What hope did you have?
And it's not necessarily the best Soulbind game, really. The Roar, of course, has been a standard classic, but aside from that, there's not all too much going on. But what he does have is the Inkswell, working in combination with someone like the Lycan especially, being able to get himself in there and add an extra element of control and a little bit of damage added on.
Yeah, and I think the panel Lizard was alluding to the fact that, you know, you have this combination that you would normally see of the Grimstroke and the Doom as G chased, but the turnaround, G gonna try and play the money angle, gets the kill, but the illusion chasing. Is the illusion gonna be enough? No, it's gonna be brought down here as well. Gets a couple denies before he ends up expiring. But the thing that he was alluding to was that oftentimes you'd have the Grimstroke together with the Doom, and maybe the worry there was with the Venge picked up, you wouldn't want to run that Doom, and it's a nice reaction having the Beastmaster instead, since you don't have that low armor hero that would have maybe gone up against him in lane.
Yeah, I think the aura from the Beastmaster 2 is just disgusting with the strat that they're running, right? You can imagine, it'll look a lot like last game with the minus armor and the Edict, but this time will just be minus armor and all this attack speed amongst the
Thompson
army of heroes and the creeps.
Potentially getting baited here. They have the toss back, stun, roll forward, finding G. They turn it back around though. Able to almost get the kill to Inkswell. It's going to not be enough to keep the SF alive. So they take down the SF first.
All right. I mean, Thompson's dying again, though, which is a little bit rough. At least he's getting the XP this time, of course.
Vanscore living here? Vanscore? Ooh.
That was a lot of gold to Velar, too. And when you're playing the support time, like, he skips over the Arcane Room because he wants to get right to that side shop, buy himself a bottle, come back for the Arcane Room, and then he wants to fight for the bounties, too.
This guy is going to be a force to be reckoned with early on here if he can get into some of those early items.
All those rotations been, though, you can see LTW is getting a lot of breathing room down here. Hitting some creeps, chilling out, like it's been in the jungle a bit, and once again, the action is in the mid lane, but will not be a finished kill there on the G. And the 5-minute timer is coming up here soon. No one of the top bounties right away, but the bottom one, No-Tail will be securing there on the Bane.
Should be able to get it. Illidan is moving over to the side also, though, and the roll to interrupt. Jarex takes it. Can't quite find any type of kick yet. Oh, the chains onto the creeps instead, and summoning the wolves. They'll be able to go for the body blocks now. Sleight of fist, lots of damage. Need to walk away, trying to slow him down, but the brain sap will find the kill, and now the Inkswell with Velhor there finds the toss, interrupting it, finding the stun afterwards, and Jarex also going to go down.
Yeah, and Velar was just up top through the avalanche to secure himself the bounty rune away from the tide. That's what gave him the mana to make this rotation down here with that arcane rune present. And now he's moving on to ILTW. This guy is so good at Tiny.
He just does it over and over. A double kill for this Tiny.
4-1-1.
Out of control right now. And I mean, that's the other thing too, right?
He's the highest Dire net worth hero.
That's a hell of a start for a Tiny.
He's 2-2. What? This is insane.
Yeah, he's making it happen. I mean, but that's the thing that I'm thinking about, right? Is that you have these big tanky cores that are going to be like, you know, stepping in front of everybody, and then Tiny's going to have his Blink Dagger in time to toss people back when they go for the push. It's just going to happen. G, just outside of the vision there. There is a ping that comes out. It looks like they're going to let G finish that TP.
Oh, Vanscore doing some fake out movements there with his Grimstroke. Very sneakily, like pretending to be boarding the area, but Notail already hit a sentry down, so he's not going to end up wasting one or anything. Valor will secure himself another rune there. It'll just be an illusion, unfortunately, this time. Probably the worst one for a Tiny.
Feeble onto the SF. Really causing that many issues. It looks like Thompson is just going to be able to pull this creep wave back the other direction and up top again.
Yeah, there's a question of who's going to blink first up here, right? We have Ravage versus Roar. Of course, it's much easier for the Beastmaster to get a kill threat just because he's the TP rotation potential, but it's still a lot to chew through when it comes to Kraken Shell.
Not the easiest one in the world for either. And it's going to be a Vlad's done for that Tide. See if he can slowly start to chip him down. No Tail squaring off against Vanscore, and on the other side of it, it's Illidan farming against the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, both of them just kind of lurking around and stealing some XP. Jax using the kick to take away the potato. Last hit on the Hellbear. But yeah, the big wraparound.
Now, with the Grimstroke in the area, they're going to pull him back close. Ravage is available if they want to use it, but no mana on Seb.
He didn't skill it either. He's at 7, and he used them all. Didn't hold the point or anything, and you can't really blame him because he wasn't really planning on having help, I don't think.
Right. So Lycan getting close to the Helm of the Dominator. Pick it up from the side shop once it's all ready. And this is the thing is, you know, when this timing comes around, do you expect to see like a full group up from the side of Olba Gold, or is it just more like run around as 2 or 3 fine kills?
No, it definitely feels like group up. I mean, I don't see why you would. It looks like it's going to be a damn good game for it at this rate. And then they're just going to be looking to abuse the cooldown of Ravage. Right. That's going to be the major question mark for OG when this all starts kicking off.
Thompson keeps getting his farm up. All of the Dire in about that same area of net worth with the exception of the Grimstroke, and again a testament to how good of a game this has been for this beast, or rather for the Tiny.
Still so far up there.
And our Spirit's still just trying to soak up whatever farm he can.
Speaking of up there, Seb is just under the tower.
There are 4 heroes nearby. Well, there's the group up. Find the stun, get the raise.
Well, that was quite the meander. Yes, I guess he thought no one else was in the area, and he just does a little loop around the trees, and suddenly they all appear like a magic trick.
I mean, that's the thing, like, they have wards in multiple lanes, they have wards in the jungle, and they didn't see anybody, but still playing pretty far up.
And the roll will now find themselves. Vanscore kick back towards No-Tail.
Inkswell, stun.
Silence is saving them for now, team.
Walking away from there, they're able to get the Nightmare off. Velhar also going to be chased down. The Roar comes out up there on the top side of it as they try and take down this Tiny, but the toss away keeps him alive in the bottle regen after the fact. Meanwhile, up here in the north, they're able to take down No-Tail. Vanscore lives, but only for a moment as they eventually do kill him off. But Jarex is now out of mana as the Ravage is going to come out, trying to interrupt it all. They finally take down Velhar, but now the buyback coming and the swap for Thompson wants to get involved. Not sure if it's going to happen though, as they have Illidan showing up, starting to lay into them with these right clicks, and Velhar is back again for a little bit of mischief. The Avalanche is going to come out in a second if he wants to get him. Toss as well afterwards. Can't quite find it as of yet. And instead it was a Nightmare on a No-Tail himself.
Oh, the dieback on Velhar.
This could be a little bit rough for them, and it does look like they've finally overstepped a little bit, but they got the kill on the Seb still.
Yeah, I think Illidan missed out on the fact that ILTW had no mana. So he's just standing right next to him with his ulti running on the Lycan, and he just starts ignoring him because he thinks he's probably going to start running away or something, but he probably could have just killed him solo as that fight was kicking off. Perhaps a missed opportunity there. And ends up going pretty well for OG overall, I would say. That fight probably in their favor, considering the status of the two teams heading into it and exactly what they need, especially the fact that they didn't lose ILTW because he has high aspirations. He did have the bots queued up. He has now switched to treads, but he is still keeping the Battle Fury. So we'll see if he keeps that on this track after already ditching the bots.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like he needs to be the man this game.
Jeez, he has Vlads and Medallion. I thought he might have given up on part of his Vlads or something for a moment, but he is extremely farmed on BZZ.
Yeah, Beastmaster. I mean, it means that Roche is going to just be an inevitability. As soon as they find a couple pickoffs, they can run right into the pit. And this is also pre-Greaves. The Beastmaster moving into position. They're able to find the stun onto the Shadow Fiend. Requiem of Souls comes out, but the silence is already there. Now getting a little bit of extra vision. They have the catch, but G still lives through this whole initiation. Silence, long duration on the Tidehunter, pushing him away again. They take down No Tail. Ravage not up for 38 seconds, so the toss forward is going to be able to find that kill onto Seb in just a second here.
That got ugly real fast. I mean, they enfeebled and gripped the Tiny back under the tier 1 tower, and then they started focusing G, couldn't finish him off, and then suddenly they're like, oh yeah, we don't have Ravage.
And that whole time they're playing without Topson too, who does get a tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. But again, it feels like if you're going to take this fighting core, you want to bring him in when you're fighting, right?
Yeah, I think he just wasn't quite ready either because he's still trying to finish up his drums, so LTW now looking for another grab on Develor.
Okay.
His game falling off pretty fast considering how close he was to a really early blink. He's now actually tied back up with Jerax. Jerax was able to escape without dying in that last fight.
Closer and closer he gets towards that blink, but it's going to keep on being hampered, particularly, like you said, with that dieback. Gonna pop the shrine now. Summoning a bird, gonna send down towards the south side of the map, and a smoke up coming from OG. They want to head into the jungle, and G is there. King him, but he's going to TP out.
Sensing danger. Especially the fact this Tide is just playing so deep like that under the tower. I mean, they know he is Ravage, but the whole team wants to play around Ravage at this point.
Yeah.
We got 2 more minutes until the bounties, so both teams going to be considering that around the 15-minute mark. You might see G try and force down this tower, and then you might see some of the heroes rotate top, right? You can kind of fake that we're standing behind our Shadow Fiend, we all TP top, we try and force a fight near the bounties, but the last thing they want to do is take a 4v5 into Ravage, so it might end up being a little bit of a stalemate here, as both teams will push tower on tower.
Yeah. And this time around, it does feel very different, where OG are actually able to get some of that tower push themselves, taking down this tier 2 top. And with the glyph already used up there, it will be an inevitability. But Gold don't have anything like a Underlord to try and get any quick pullback to the top lane, so they're going to need to start TPing people because OG are going high ground right now.
Yeah, they got this Venge.
It's so much damage
in the aura.
Are they just going to try and base race for tier 3 and Rax? They're going to trade off Rax at this point? Okay, I'm down.
Interesting.
Get rid of the buildings. Why not? Keep it going. Can OG get back to defending this other one?
Faster games. You know, I love a little bit of turbo mode. That's cool. It's all right. The roll's going to swing and a miss there. It's a long TP.
Velhor, they've got him caught for the moment. Silence out. It's connecting onto a lot of them. And they're going to buy back on the Grimstroke. Try and get back into play with the rest of these heroes. They got the grip there onto G. He's going to go down.
Where's that Ravage?
Kill off the Shadow Fiend. Seb trying to walk away now. They haven't been able to get the barracks yet, but on the other side, they were able to take out Overgold. So they get protected here would be really good, but it's not going to happen. They get the silence to turn it back around, and now the mech try and keep him alive. Requiem Soul's just tickling for the moment, but they do manage to kill off that Earth Spirit. Is it going to be enough, though? G turned upon. They take down Illidan in the base. They buy back now on this Lycan, and BZZ also going to be controlled. OG are gambiting them, basically, at this stage. They take down the melee barracks themselves, trying to walk and secure this, but Illidan, he can't afford to die right now. He just fought back. They pull back NG. He's also going to go down. What more can they do? All right, and Avatar's trying to interrupt this one. Belhor, seeing if he can turn this game back around, but they take down the Shadow Fiend, and LTW eventually going to fall. Thompson, the last man standing, is going to try and kill off BZZ here.
Don't worry, there's another one of them coming out here.
But they do find that kill. And so Thompson loses his life, but an early trade of Barracks, why not?
Unhealable damage in the range tracks. Oh, why? Okay, well, that was something. Not the most common thing in a game. I thought we'd be concerned about bounty runes, and they were concerned about bounties on the lives of some racks, right? I mean, that's standard 15-minute gameplay. 4 buybacks from the side of Olba Gold. That's going to hurt your economy. They end up losing 300 or so at the end of that, and it's about a 2K gain for OG, as well as, of course, both teams losing. It was a full set of racks, to be fair, loss for OG, whereas they will get to keep their range racks here.
Yeah. I mean, it's very strange, but I guess it kind of works out. I mean, with the buybacks, it definitely favors OG.
Yeah. I mean, they're sitting on top, right? 3 cores. They got themselves a nice 4K lead. The Roche, until the Ravage, they can't go in as Radiant. I don't know if you want to try and rush this as Dire. It seems like they might be thinking about it here.
Yeah.
Radiant are scanning.
That's crazy. How often do you see a full set of racks taken bottom before a tier 1 tower in the other 2 lanes?
Oh my goodness, that's a risky business.
Scary. Scary, scary. Soulbind, they got the roar up again in a second. If they wanted to use it, do they decide to go for it? No, just going to back out afterwards. And well, the toss away Velhor saving BZZ for the moment, while Illidan just going to try and take down No-Tail with all the summons. But they do need to back out, and the mechanism is going to keep them survivable. But LTW jumps forward. He's going to get silenced. Nope. Interrupted. Able to dodge away from that one.
Ravage is back in 1 second.
The Ravage comes out and connects on the 4. They're going to find this kill. Roll forward from Jerks. The stun comes out afterwards, trying to interrupt it. Everybody's so low. Can they take him down in time? Yes. He has no souls left. Belhor trying to make something happen for his team. But OG is chasing forward, and Seb on this Tidehunter, making the difference. Needs a gush, needs an anchor smash. It's not looking like it's going to happen. And the silence comes out at the last second. Triple kill for Illidan. They are so freaking low right now, but they're still living through this. And Vanscore are going to be able to make the TP out happen.
Velor is just a team medic here, making those big saves on BZZ earlier on. And now just tangling a little bit with the Thompson illusion. We'll take it.